So I'm here with Andy from Killyourinnerloser, as you can see. This dude is wearing the same hat as me, which makes him someone who copies people's style, you know? Nice hat, mate.
Thank you. It was a complete accident that we wore the same hat.
Yeah,
So
complete
it
accident.
wasn't coordinated.
This was never set up by anything, don't worry. I want to talk about a specific problem that I've spoken about lately, and I want to move it towards something that you are probably one of the best at I've ever seen, and someone who taught me a lot about this. And this is avoiding both time wasters and drama. And I basically consider you the king of the anti-drama approach to dating, along with like Black Dragon, who also talks about this quite a lot. And I know he's been quite an inspiration for you, I guess, or you, with some of the way he
Mhm.
deals with things. But you're also quite like empathetic, and you like I think in your more you want like kind of like I don't know, understand and like empathize with the girls you date as well. So you're like zero drama, but also you're quite involved with the girls you date. So it's a really good balance you've like struck. Um,
Mhm.
I want to know like this avoiding time wasting, this avoiding drama. Does it come from like some bad experiences essentially when you first started?
Part of it comes from, as you pointed out, me stealing it from Black Dragon. He pointed out that he prefers his life low drama. And when I thought about that, I was like, do you know what I do too? But to answer your question properly, the biggest part of it came from the craziest girl that I ever date. And I did a podcast called essentially that, the craziest story of my life, or the craziest girl I ever dated, or something like that. It was, long story short, a train wreck of a relationship. She ended up calling the police and a fire department and an ambulance on me because she was having a mental breakdown and I didn't want to let her in. And so, drama, 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 right? Even as I'm saying that, that sounds disgusting in my head because I'm like, that's just so much drama. Why did I
That's
put up with that?
not just
And that
drama,
was my
that's like
breaking point.
a psychotic episode, basically.
Yeah.
Like,
And
yeah.
that was my breaking point where I was like, there was part of me that was like, this is fun because I get to talk about this drama. And then as soon as I realized that, I was like, oh my God, I'm no better than some celebrity gossip magazine or all the people that I claim to hate. I've become them. I am them. I'm the drama queen. I'm the person that wants to post for validation and talk about their crazy life and, oh my God, this crazy girl that I dated. Oh my God, my life is so wacky. Oh my God, feel sorry for me. And so as soon as I went through that, I was like, okay, no, I just want to be the quiet guy who gets shit done, who has a life he enjoys. And sure, I post about the stuff that I work on. Sure, fine. But I wanted to have as little drama or as little pain as possible. It was like I realized I don't have to suffer in order to get laid. Because my template before that was I thought I did have to suffer because my first two relationships were just toxic as fuck, miserable, depressed. And I thought that was the norm. And as soon as I realized, like, shit, that doesn't have to be the norm, I went in the exact opposite direction. So to sum up, to answer your question quickly, yeah, I went through so much horror in so many relationships that I was like, okay, I just want to do the exact opposite. And when I did the opposite, like drama free, it's like, well, this is freaking lovely. Like, you're allowed to have as much sex as you want, crazy sex with no drama and just affection, and it's nice and there's no problems, there's no fights. Like, yes, please sign me up.
Yeah, there's in my mind there's like two kind of people who are going for like the drama. There's like the guys who have no abundance or like and no idea what they're doing and kind of just accept that this is like they think of it as like a necessary part of the dating process. Or they're just so happy they've got any interest in them or anything like that, or they've got like guaranteed sex from one person, even though they're destroying their lives. The other one
Yeah.
is like guys in our community who are inexperienced and like are like quite fresh to the journey and quite new, and I would suggest that a lot of them know in their minds how to avoid the drama if they want to, but a lot of guys are like chasing experience. So I think I chased some dramatic shit. You know the
Yeah.
story with me of the girl who like tried to break into my hostel dorm room. I told you this
Yes.
before, yeah.
Yes.
And then like yeah, that was crazy. Similar to yours, but like with no fire engine or ambulance or whatever. Um, she was just drunk and angry, and it doesn't. Anyway, I've spoken about that on this on this channel before. Um, and the outcome of that was my breaking point when I was like, I don't need the experience as much anymore. Like I've sort of like earned my stripes in the trenches. I felt after that point, I was like, it was like after like 20 days or so, since I met
Mm.
you, and I was just like, why would I put up with any of that shit when like I can go and find someone who is like chill and like really
Yeah.
likes me and won't cause all this bullshit. And I try and tell guys like you can avoid all the drama and the time wasting, but I'm also like hesitant to be like I want to save them the pain, but like I also want to let them do what they want to do at the same time to some extent, as long as it's within a certain, like, obviously within parameters of like reasonability and all that shit. But like, yeah,
Yeah.
if, as, I kind of want guys to make small, harmless little mistakes that they will like learn from. Is that bad from my end, or is that like, is that like a good way of approaching it?
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because on one hand, like, a big part of my philosophy is not telling everyone what to do, but at the same time, you don't want to sit by and be the neglectful parent, so to speak, that just lets them do whatever crazy shit they want and put their hand in the fire. So it's a balancing act, I've found, between letting them make some mistakes, sure, because you can't be them for everyone forever, and it would be arrogant to think that you're gonna tell everyone how to live their life at all points in time. So you do need to let them make some mistakes, but at the same time, sure, you'd be an incredibly shit coach or content creator or person, I guess, if you knew people were gonna make huge mistakes and you just said, yeah, it is what it is. Just let sleeping dogs lie. Just do whatever you want. Like, sure, go date that girl who literally told you she has bipolar. Because why not? You got to learn to make your own mistake. Which I've seen that on the forums
Yeah, I've
multiple
seen that
times,
too.
by the way.
I've seen that so much.
And
I've
that's
seen.
when you step in and say, like, no, don't date her. No,
Why are so many guys finding bipolar girls? Like ones that are like
because they're seeking it out.
they can verify it as well. For some reason, they're all really good at like verifying that she's got like an actual mental disorder that she's being diagnosed with and takes like medication for. And they like post like, oh yeah, she's really hot, but she's got this incredibly like she's got like borderline personality disorder and she'll probably stab me or some shit. And
Yeah,
I'm just like,
yeah.
okay, no, like eject yourself from that situation. You know what I mean? Like that is what it is. You have that's a no-go for me. Like, and I want to touch on something else a little less extreme. So I did a video recently called When She Says She Has a Boyfriend.
Yep,
And
I watched that.
and it's one of my better videos, I think. I don't know. Anyway, it comes from like an argument, not an argument, but like a debate within our own community about like persisting with what I consider like low chances of it happening girls, in my opinion.
Yes.
I like this idea that if you're like a little bit persistent, like if you give up too easily, you're missing out on opportunity. But I don't view it like that. I view it as like, my arguments were, if she says she's got a boyfriend, she's lying. Well, she just lied to you in the first interaction. So that's already
Yes.
screening out for me. Sorry. And if she has got a boyfriend, your opportunity of actually is like way less than 100%. We're talking like a 50% shot if she wants to cheat, or like 10% if she's like you have to wait for her to break up with him. So you're looking at really low percentage chances in your head. If you actually break it down and like, what is my actual percentage chance? And at that point, anything below 50 is a massive waste of time for me.
Yes.
Like anything worse than a coin flip, why the fuck are you wasting your time? You're gonna feel like shit for having your time wasted and being messed around. Everyone feels like shit when they can't get with someone, you know what I mean, and they have to hang around them. And I know you have quite an extreme like position on the like chance probability. Like we had this discussion before. And like I would probably like consider hanging out and talking to a girl who's probably like 85% like a chance of sleeping with them, whereas you're like, it has to be like 95 plus, you know what I mean? It has to be like basically
Has to be like guaranteed that she'll fuck me if I was gonna waste time. Like, shouldn't say waste time, but spend time hitting on her. Yeah.
You're in a different situation obviously because they've got to like be into a threesome with you and your girlfriend and stuff.
Yeah.
But you have seriously channeled your entire like way of doing things towards only finding fuck yes girls, which I do very much like respect and like, yeah, admire that. It involves being very polarizing, but I understand it's like really once you've got to like where we're at, you understand that polarizing is like one of the best things you can do, because it like it forces everyone to a decision, and then you like you know what they want like after they've said yes, basically.
Yeah, you don't have to deal with any no's, because I think the thing you benefit from thinking about, if you're one of those guys who says, oh, but I want to chase girls who have a boyfriend, like I want to do that, or I'm not going to let those opportunities go. The thing you got to think is, in that situation, for her to sleep with you, it's going to take a lot more effort than any other girl. Like if she has a boyfriend, she has to sneak around outside of her boyfriend. She has to meet you at certain locations because maybe she can't go back to her apartment. You also have to deal with the drama of like, what if the boyfriend texts when you're fucking her? Like any of that kind of stuff. What if the boyfriend finds out? What if she's just not as available? What if she has mental issues? Because guess what? It's not psychologically stable to be cheating on your partner. That fucks everyone up. No matter how much you pretend that, oh, I don't care, I'll just cheat on my partner. No, it's not good for your psyche. It's not good for anyone's psyche. You're trying to have sex with that person. And so the amount of effort, drama, pain, and let's just say effort that it takes to have sex with that girl, why don't you just go and talk to 10 other girls or 20 girls? Like, it might take you several weeks to have sex with the girl who has a boyfriend by the time you line things up. Or you could fuck her that night, sure, fine. But that happens once in a blue moon. Most of the time, it's going to take significantly more effort than any other girl. And now, if you want to put in that effort so you can have the ego stroke and say, I fucked a girl with a boyfriend, then fine, go for that. Sure. But at least be honest with yourself as to why you're doing it. You're doing it for the ego stroking. And there's not anything necessarily wrong with that, but that's just not my can of beans, so to speak. That's not my wheelhouse. That's not what I care about. I like the ego stories, sure, but I don't think I ever needed to turn a no into a yes, because I think 99% of the time it doesn't happen. Having tried a lot, by the way, not just with girls with boyfriends, but in a lot of situations where it was a no, it almost never turns into a yes. And the 1 in 100 times where it does, it's like, man, I could have just gone and talked to 300 other girls in this time and had sex with like 5 of them, by the way. Found 5 that wanted to jump on my dick.
Yes. The other thing I'd say about that is the whole process of trying to turn a girl who doesn't seem that into you into someone who is not fun. Like, I've never found that process
not good
fun.
for your self-esteem.
Yeah. It's
I don't get why. Yeah.
You're like pushing yourself to get rejected more when you could be getting rejected with girls. Like, there's different kinds of rejection. There's like rejections that you're like having over and over again from the same girl, or you can go and play the numbers game and like get rejections that actually get you closer to something. It's like with the one girl, it's like the rejections are pushing you further away, whereas with approaching new girls, like every rejection gets you closer to the one that says yes, basically. Yes. That's the way I'd view it.
Here's the way of looking at it. If you're going for a girl that says she has a boyfriend, there is no guarantee that you sleep with her. And so you could waste the next month talking to her, and you've just wasted a month. Congratulations. For no guarantee. Now, if you spend that month going outside and talking to 300 girls, I guarantee you'll get laid 2 or 3 times. I guarantee. Unless you look like shit, sure, fine. But if you look reasonably attractive, you dress well, you have decent style, I guarantee you will have sex if you talk to 300 girls. I guarantee you that. I will bet $1,000. Again, unless you look like complete shit or you're doing something weird. But there's no guarantee with that one girl. So I don't understand why you're chasing something that has no guarantee. If you say your goal is to get laid, why would you chase the thing that has no guarantee when you could go out and talk to 300 girls and guarantee you reach your goal? And so I think in those cases, the guys just need to be honest with themselves. Their goal isn't to get laid as much as possible. That's not their goal. Their goal is to be able to say, I can fuck any girl if she has a boyfriend. And if that's your goal, fine. But at least I'm a big fan of being self-aware and being honest with yourself. So at least tell yourself the truth and tell the truthful story that you want the ego stroking, that you want to be able to say, I fucked a girl with a boyfriend. And I don't care that I had to spend 6 months talking to a bunch of girls with boyfriends before I finally fucked one. And also I cheated. I helped enable cheating. Like, you have to be okay with all of that. You have to be at least honest about all of that.
I try to put the ethical question to the side because, like, we're not aiming this at people who like care about the ethical questions. That's what I said on my video as well. I was just like, but there is the ethical side of it that I'm not okay with either. So anyway,
I know you're not, and I'm not as much either, but I put my foot down less for morality and ethics. I personally don't find that it's my job to tell other people what to do. I don't know, you don't either. You're not some like headstrong guy who goes and tells everyone what they should do. But I personally don't touch the ethical question because I don't know how you convince someone of ethics, basically.
That's fair enough.
The only way you can is by shaming them, and I don't think that's a good way of because I think all you've just done is shame them, and now they'll just do the behavior but hide it from you.
It's not so much from a lecturing other people sort of way. It's in my own morality. I would not want to cause that pain on someone. Do you know what I mean?
Fair.
Like, yeah.
Neither would I. I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. Like, fuck exactly. That. Why am I gonna help some guy get cheated on?
And I say that as someone
I don't know the guy. What if he's a decent dude?
I say that as someone who's made the mistake as well. So like, I've made the mistake of like having a girl who had a boyfriend and caused a lot of pain, and we caused a lot of pain. So like, I've come from a position of having caused that pain. I'm not fucking doing that again. Like, I'm just not. Yeah. Like, yeah. And it just isn't fucking. The juice isn't worth the squeeze, and like all the damage you fucking cause. So like, just don't fucking. Yeah, that'd be what I said. That's just I said I can't. espouse, yeah, you're right. Like I can't espouse the morality and try and push the morality on people, but I can tell you it's a fucking dumb decision from your own self-interest as well. So
Yes.
it's like,
And
yeah,
and I don't believe it's good for anyone's psyche. That's the closest you can come to morality. I do not believe anyone is capable of engaging in cheating behavior, whether that's as the partner with a boyfriend or just as the guy who's fucking the girl who has a boyfriend. I don't believe anyone can engage in that on any long-term level and come away unscathed. I don't believe that's true. I think you have to be a sociopath or a psychopath for that.
that's a good way to finish this topic.